Hey guys, and welcome to the latest in the SleepyTalk podcast. Today I am joined with not only my professional voice, but Steve. Hi Steve. Nice to see
Hi,
you.
Luke.
You okay?
Glad to be back.
Yeah?
Not too bad.
It's amazing. We keep trying to get rid of you, but you just keep coming back. Forgot to put my my ring light on. But I've put it on now. So hopefully, these are really good pieces of kit, just get really bright, and now I'm a ghost, and then drop it down a bit, and it's more like kind of like natural light. So obviously you don't need one from the look of you, because your screen is just bright as anything.
It's too
Honestly,
bright.
your
It blinds
eyes
me.
look black. You look like a demon. But
Maybe I am.
we'll get into the Cecil or Cecilia. Well, it's not really Cecilia, but the Cecil Hotel. So, beyond the stained glass windows, Doric columns, and marble walls of the Cecil Hotel lies a history of murder and mystery. See how that rhymes? Did you like that?
Oh, I liked that.
I'm only looking to the right because that's where Steve's camera is, and I don't know why I keep doing it. So I'm just going to move him here and try and read my little transcript while I'm looking at him. Since it opened nearly a century ago, the hotel has been home to 2 serial killers. It's witnessed numerous suicides and gained a reputation as a den of vice. And the hotel, nicknamed LA's Most Deadly, even inspired season 5 of Ryan Murphy's American Horror Story. That is one series that I've not actually watched all the way through. I watched season 1 and I wasn't too keen on it, but I know my partner has done it and watched quite a lot. So I don't know if you've watched a lot.
I've not watched an episode.
Maybe we should do that for another podcast. I don't know. Maybe.
Good idea.
Yes.
Maybe. We'll see what the people say.
Maybe. So, being LA's Most Deadly wasn't actually what brought it to international attention or infamy. 8 years ago, the disappearance of a 21-year-old female tourist behind its doors became a global mystery. There's actually a Netflix series that'll reveal the truth behind the disappearance of the Canadian student, Eliza, at the infamous LA building. So, I think that's out now. I think it is. Yeah, and then the Ghost Adventures was after, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, that's correct.
Like hitting that trend, just like we are, really. So we've watched the Ghost Adventures episode. We haven't watched the Netflix series. So this is all going to be based on the things that we saw in there. There was disturbing CCTV of the student and her invisible attacker. The footage was believed to be the last ride of Eliza's life in the hotel. And it went viral when it was released in February 2013. I remember actually seeing it. I didn't actually know the backstory or the importance. I thought it was just another ghost thing that people put on Facebook. She's seen gesticulating to someone as she ducks and dives from landing to the lift and then back again. And then 2 weeks after this, her body was found in the water tanks on the roof. That's 15 stories, that building. 15 stories, and she was found on the roof. I think the elevator, if I remember rightly, was on floor 7 during the video.
Correct.
There we go. See? That's why I have Steve around. There's loads and loads of theories have been shared on forums and things like that about how she came to a grisly end. There's like murder, malevolent spirits, government conspiracies, suicide, and illegal drugs have all been put forward as explanations. But when she actually booked her stay at the Cecil Hotel, she didn't actually realise it was a place where drug addicts, killers, prostitutes, and chancers felt right at home. So the 700-room hotel used to be visited by Hollywood stars and producers because it was the first in the city to welcome Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. But it later became home to much more unsavory clientele. Among the killers to have lived in the LA hotel were serial killer Richard Ramirez, who was known as the Night Stalker. That's a pretty cool name. As horrific as that guy is, and how like terrible his actions were, the Night Stalker is like some outer X-Men.
It nearly is out an X-Men.
Nightcrawler, yes. But
Nearly.
the Night Stalker. However, the Night Stalker didn't actually prey on people there. He just hung around there to fit in. According to this, anyway. It was constructed in 1924 for $1 million. And the hotel was designed for businessmen visiting California's boomtown. But when the Great Depression hit in the following decade, its customers were down on their luck, and gradually the Skid Row area in which the huge hotel nestled became a byword for poverty. The people who couldn't afford the hotel rates slept in bushes and on nearby pavements, while those who had the cash sometimes used its room for a life of vice. The next known killer to haunt the Cecil was...
Jack Unterweger.
That's it. I couldn't pronounce his name. Jack Unterweger. But, so, there's a lot of things that you've got on the Night Stalker and Jack. We'll call him Jack. So if you wanna take it away, Steve, we'll go with that one.
I've got a little bit about Jack. So we know he stayed in room 712 for a couple of months. While he was in there, he killed at least 3 women that we know of, maybe more. While he did that, he was under the illusion of documenting true crime while committing true crime himself. Good way to get away with it, but he didn't. So the women that he killed them by strangling them with their underwear. I believe it was their bra.
So,
bit of an odd way to do it.
Pretty weird way to do it, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That was all I've got mainly for Jack, other than later on where we get to hear from him again, but in a different form.
And what about the Night Stalker? Because I know he killed 14 people.
I don't know the full amount of people that he killed. It was just that he was staying there at the time, which you've already said. But that was it. Other than the fact that he's still alive on death's row.
Oh.
Like 25 years later.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so that was it for them that I currently know. Other than that, going back to Elisa, what do you think actually happened to her?
So it is a weird one, given that the roof is access to the roof is restricted. You've got to get up into the actual container. It's a water container. And yeah, like...
And then closing the container's
hatch,
lid while you're in it. You got to close that hatch.
I mean, the hatch is probably the most... the easiest thing to sort of debunk. Like, she could literally have held onto it as she dropped in, and it swung with her momentum.
Possibly, yeah.
You know, that's... It's the same way of people getting into a tank. How do they pull the hatch while they're getting in? You know,
normally there's like a handle on the inside, but I wouldn't have thought there'd be a handle on the inside of that.
There might be. I mean, it might be worth putting one in just in case someone falls into one.
Well, it might be now.
Yeah. But it is a weird one. Given the fact that she was kicked out of her room because she was there with other people, that could scream foul play.
Yep.
It could also make it easier for someone to sort of like prey on her. So when she's on the actual floor, she was on floor number 7, I believe.
Yeah.
Did you find out what room her friends were staying in?
No, it doesn't say anywhere.
Right.
All we know that it was a different room.
A different floor or a different room?
Just a different room. Okay,
so it could have been on floor 7. She could have been arguing in that viral video.
Possibly. It looks very odd. She's definitely hiding or trying to get away from someone.
Yeah.
Just her hand movements as well. then there's the part of that video where she's pressing all the buttons inside the elevator.
That could be. That could. It's a weird one because she does look kind of scared when she's doing that.
Yep.
Like she's trying to get anywhere. But obviously, as we all know with elevators, when you push more than one button, like repeatedly, the doors stay open for longer. So
yes, they do.
Yeah. So it never speeds it up, which maybe just like the handle, they should put something in there. When you press all the buttons really quickly, it closes the door quicker. Just
Could be that. And another theory is why she was pressing them was she was playing the Korean elevator game, which is trying to basically summon spirits by pressing different numbers.
Yeah, I'm not sold on that one though. I don't know why you'd suddenly do that. Do you know what I mean? Especially after
either. But it seems a bit odd that she's also originates from Korea.
Yeah, but that's just association though, isn't it?
Could be.
You know, that's just like saying that I'm a Viking because the Vikings invaded England. Do you know what I mean?
It could be.
I could be, but just because they invaded here doesn't mean I am.
No.
You know, I think just because it's a good theory. Like I'm on board, but I just think it's a stretch. Like it looks like she was panicking. It doesn't look like she was doing it for any other reason other than to sort of like get in the elevator, get the elevator doors quicker.
Just try and get away.
Yeah, and plus, if she selected her floor, then whoever's after her will know what floor she's on.
Yeah, it tells you outside.
Yeah, so if you press loads and loads of different buttons, you could literally, like, it'd go to the next floor, like, so it'd go to floor 8. Or it depends what sort of elevator it is. It could go to the first one that's been selected, but generally speaking, the ones that I've been in go to the closest one. In sort of like a more efficient order.
Later on in the program, where he presses loads of buttons, trying to go through them all, it goes to the first floor it reaches. So he's trying to go from them all to the top and starts pressing top, expecting it to go to the top floor, but it doesn't. It goes to I think it's 7, because he goes 15 all the way down to 7 from first floor, and then it stops at 7. That would just them at a stretch trying to do something.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They kept saying, oh, it's going to 7, but as far as I'm aware, elevators do go to the most efficient floor first. Because it is so annoying when you actually jump into an elevator and say you're going down, so you're going down to the ground floor, but someone else is going to like, I don't know whether like you've experienced this, but when I went to Reading for some work training, the cafeteria was on the 3rd floor.
Right.
And I was on the 7th floor. So when I'd get in the morning and I'm going down to the ground floor to then go off to do my training, people would get in like on floors below me and then press the 3rd floor.
And then it'd stop.
So then I'd have to wait.
Yeah,
I'd have to wait at the 3rd floor, and then every now and then you'll get someone who's lazy who gets in and then presses the 2nd floor. So
I used to get that all the time while I was at college. I used to be on the very top floor in the morning, get in. I might be the first one in there, press my button. Loads of other people would come in. Basically, every other floor would get pressed, but I was the last one still to get off.
Yeah. So I think, like you said, I think it is a little bit of a stretch going to the 7th floor, because obviously it will go there. There was one part where they'd not actually press the 7th floor, but I think that it's more of an electrical issue, given that they keep spamming different buttons.
Well, that was after Zach did the game himself.
Yeah.
So he goes in, as it reaches the 4th floor, presses the 2nd button, the 10th button, the 5th button. Then it's supposedly when it gets to the 5th floor, someone's supposed to enter the elevator. which he does feel cold as he goes as that happens. But then as he gets out, the elevator goes up to the 7th by itself. But that could have just been a crew member in there. He might have caught the 7th button by himself. Anything.
Or maybe it's got a reset option on it. So when it's not in use, it goes to the 7th because that's the middle.
Yeah, could be that.
Obviously, 15 flights, but 15 being the roof, the elevator won't actually go up there.
No.
A lot of buildings, it goes up to a certain height, and then you have stairs going up to the next level, don't you? So
yeah,
potentially that could be it. So he goes to 7 because that's the most efficient place for it to sit.
Which would make sense.
Yeah. So could be software, could be electrical, could be anything. There's another part in the elevator as well where I can't remember his name for the life of me, but is it Erin? Gets
which one?
Not the bald guy with the goatee, the other guy with the hat.
I can't remember this. I know bald guy's Aaron.
All right, not him then. The other guy. He gets in and it opens on the 7th, and then as the door's closing, you can hear "Hey" in like a female voice, but it's literally as the door is closing. So if I scrape something like metal against rubber, I could probably make out the sound of somebody talking. It did sound a little bit like it was a "hmm" rather than a "hey." Like there was no emphasis on the H or anything like that. So,
I didn't hear it until they went back and said it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was noise.
Exactly. So it's a stretch.
They were definitely stretching on that one. I think most of the stuff to do with the elevator bit was stretching.
Yeah. I think they were focusing too much on the elevator and going off like the Reddit conspiracy theories. Not that there's anything wrong with Reddit conspiracy theories. I mean, some have got to hit the mark at some point. But it, like we've said, it's just a stretch. It's one of those where it could be true, but it's kind of like probably not. It's just I don't mean to be negative because I really like Ghost Adventures. I really do. But there's a lot better debunking paranormal investigators out there than Zach Baggins and his crew.
Definitely. Like you say, I do enjoy it. I think it's good TV. Very good TV.
Whether it's true or not, they do debunk some stuff, but I think I've noticed as well there's a progression over the years with Ghost Adventures where less and less things get debunked that should be debunked, and more things are kind of looked into. I don't know whether they've kind of got lost in this sort of world where everything is supernatural. Like, there's only a couple of places that they've been to where there's literally no entities whatsoever.
Oh yeah,
and they probably
they're boring.
Yeah, they probably have been to one or two that they've just not recorded or not uploaded. There was that couple as well, wasn't there, that were convinced that their house was haunted, and it turned out that they were doing all the drawings. They were doing everything. They were pretending that they were being possessed.
I've not seen that one. Well, I've seen beginning. I saw the beginning of it, but I didn't end up watching it all.
It's funny. It is. And they said like they're probably mentally deranged or just looking for attention. But Erin is another one. There's a progression from him from like the first season to are we on season 20 now?
22.
Yeah, 22. Okay. So from the first season, he was like, oh, everything's scary. Everything is. And now it's like, I'm being possessed. I want to hurt you. I really want to rugby tackle you into the ground right now. You know, I just feel so much anger going through me right now. There's a huge evolution in the way that these things are affecting them. My quotation marks didn't work because it was off the side. But there's definitely sort of like a skewed opinion on how ghosts are meant to affect them. And you can see that throughout each season. It's a different way that they're affecting. Like Zach's been possessed how many times?
Too many to count.
Yeah. And then there's the other times where he's like, oh, I feel really angry and I want to hurt everyone. I'm going to have to go outside now. And he stands outside and he's like, everything's okay now. We'll go back in. But then it's never thought of again.
We had the exact same thing in this one as well, but with Aaron.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He was like, I'm going to rugby tackle you. I just wanted to tackle you to the ground. They go outside. They freshen up. They feel better all of a sudden. And then they go back in. But that emotion never comes back. You'd expect if you know, if you're drinking poison, right? Let's say diluted poison, and it's making you feel ill. You stop drinking it for a week, you feel so much better, and then you stop drinking it again. It's not that feeling's gonna come back, isn't it? You're going to feel ill again.
Come back, yeah.
So just because you've had a little break doesn't mean that you wouldn't then feel that again when you go back into that environment. That's my kind of like gripe with it. Is, you know, he got that quite early on as well, but then it was never seen again. Like he didn't experience that again.
Seen. The other thing with that was they were worried about him being separated, but then later on separated on purpose.
Yeah, it happens a lot. Zach does it so many times. He's like, I'm going to send you off by yourself. No, we need to stick together, but I'm going to send you off by yourself. And the other thing about Zach that really gripes on me, and please don't take this the wrong way, I do enjoy the show. And I think that what Zach does and things like that are really great things. But every time somebody on his crew is experiencing something, he has to one-up them or be on level playing field. If Aaron says, I feel like I'm being taken over, Zach's instantly like, oh, I feel it too. Oh, it's cold over here. Oh my God, I'm so cold too. Like, I didn't realize you were cold. That's a terrible accent.
If you go back with this one, while Aaron was what they call getting ragey, he had something touch his hair, which is then when we had to get out of there.
Yeah.
That's when he was done. It wasn't when Aaron was getting all angry and ragey and whatever else, whether that were put on or not. I do think it was when he felt something, then they asked for him to be touched again, like he was, no, we've got to go, it's too dangerous.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I am not under sort of any illusion that could never happen, or that they never experience those things. Like I'm on the fence with things like this. I always am. If I haven't experienced it myself, then I can't say that somebody else hasn't experienced it. But there's a trend when it comes to ghost adventures. There's a huge trend, and I hope a lot of people see this trend. I hope they do, because if not, there needs to be some form of like wake up call for some people. They may find quite a lot of haunted places. They may be able to talk with spirits if they exist. You know what? It'd be great. Like, but there is definitely trends in every episode where Aaron feels angry. Zach then has to feel something at that point, because if it's happening to him, why isn't it happening to me? They then take a break and they come back in, and it's a completely different thing that's affecting them now.
They make it seem like it's another day. That's the way I feel like they go about that. They disappear, and it's not just they've disappeared for 5 minutes. They probably have disappeared for 5 minutes, but on the program they make it feel like they're coming back a second night.
Yeah. You know, again, it just feels like I'm bashing him. I feel like I'm bashing him, but I really do like it.
You enjoy it, so you're allowed to be critical about something you enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, PT did say that in the last one. He says if you can't knock the things that you enjoy, then what can you?
Exactly. And you talk about things you enjoy, so there you go.
Yeah, exactly. So it's there's a few more different things. There's definitely got to be some form of energy there from the things that have happened. There's got to be some negativity. Now, I don't know whether this is feng shui, whether it's the metals that they use in the building, whether it's radiation poisoning. But there was one thing that I saw on it which really, really angered me to the core, which was the woman that gave birth and then chucked a baby out of the window.
Oh,
And they gave her temporary insanity plea. Sorry, they gave
yeah.
her a temporary insanity plea. So that when she gave birth, she went temporarily insane and threw a baby out of a window. Now, I'm not a doctor. I have been present when somebody has given birth. I know the emotions, what can sort of creep up in that time. I know it's a very stressful, but and very emotional time. I'm going to say emotional again, probably 7 times during the rest of this podcast. Could this person have gone through some form of insanity after having all those hormones flooded through her body? Of course,
Oh,
100%.
100%. The thing that I don't get about that though was when they entered Cecil Hotel, she didn't know she was pregnant, or she says she didn't know she was pregnant. So when she gave birth, she wasn't aware she was going to give birth anytime soon.
But didn't they
And
say that she was going to
all
keep quiet? She was trying to keep quiet as to not
wake
annoy
her
someone.
husband, yeah, so
Yeah.
her husband or boyfriend, whatever it were, she gave birth in the bathroom from the way I took it, and then didn't want to wake him up, so threw the baby out the window, which she thought was dead. So no
So why
part
would a
of
dead
this.
baby wake anyone up? But at what point in any any existing plane of existing plane of existence? I don't know what's going off with my sentence structures today, but in what plane of existence does a dead baby ever wake anybody up?
Why wouldn't you want to wake your other half up?
But I'm just wondering why this is where the temporary insanity probably comes in, because she thought that a dead baby or a baby that she thought was dead was going to wake her husband up, so she threw it out of a window.
Yeah.
What noises do dead babies make, Steve?
Nothing.
Yeah, they make no noise.
Exactly it.
They
Just
don't make a sound. I mean,
no.
I'm not experienced in like dead children. You know, I don't know whether what I've said is factually correct, but I believe it wholeheartedly that dead beings do not make sound, except for the fact when obviously the gases build up and they end up like flatulating and things. But other than that, like nothing. I'm gonna stop saying dead babies now anyway.
Yeah, let's leave that one be now.
Yeah. But no, it angered me because she got temporary insanity. Like, that's ridiculous.
The other strange one with the jumping, the woman jumping and landing on a man walking past. I found that one interesting.
100 points. No, I mean, it is funny, but it's not. It's bad, but it's like, imagine that. Imagine. Like, do you think she aimed? Or do you think it was just really unfortunate of that man? Like, karma hit him hard.
Pure coincidence.
So he died as well, didn't he?
Yeah, they both died upon impact.
Yeah. Like, headshot. Like, wow. Imagine that, though. Human torpedo out of a window. Like, heat-seeking missile.
Oh.
Straight in. Like, that is just awful. Poor bloke. Poor bloke.
I know.
I mean, poor her as well.
Imagine last second of your life, a woman landed on top of you.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I don't know why we're laughing. This is really sad. It's tragic. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine. But it's just, this is what I mean about the negative energy, though. Like, there has to be some negative energy there.
What made me laugh with that was we were trying to say it was like a deal with a spirit or a devil. It's just pure coincidence.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. There's One of them was meant to be a Satan worshipper. I think that was the Night Stalker.
Correct.
He was meant to do sacrificial rituals, and I think he didn't kill anyone from the hotel, but he killed someone in the hotel, didn't he?
It didn't say anything on that.
Maybe not.
Not on the program.
But he was
apparently he did rituals in the hotel, so satanic rituals.
Yeah. Which, if it is true, like the spiritual world and things like that, then that's probably going to bring a lot of negative energy there.
Oh, 100%. The amount of people that committed suicide there alone. If spirits do get left behind, or even just the energy from people as they pass, whether you want to call that a spirit or not, it's going to stay around that area. 18 people, it's going to add up.
It's kind of a little bit like the suicide forest in Japan. Like why so many people go there to die. And like people that have been there have always said that the atmosphere is awful.
Maybe that's because they know it's the suicide forest, or because they know so many people have died here. Maybe it's all in the head.
Yeah, and it could be why people actually check in to commit suicide, because it's like it's a hotspot for it.
You can do it easily. As bad as that sounds, if you can easily jump out of a window on a 15th, 12th, 14th, whatever floor, it's free to open and just drop straight out. If that's currently what's going through your head, and I hope it isn't to anyone, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. But it's easy enough to do. Yeah,
I'm gonna leave a link to Samaritans anyway. It's a UK charity. Down in the description, you can ring them up and talk to them. Email them if you need to. Just if you are feeling low during these troubled times and you do have intrusive thoughts about this sort of thing, you can be helped. There is support out there and it's free. So please, if you are feeling that way, please head on down to the link in the description. I'll put it at the top, and hopefully you can get the help that you need.
Yeah.
But going back to this, what makes this building so special? Because obviously there's a lot of tall buildings around the area, and as you can see, for those that are watching, over to the right hand side, there is a fire escape going all the way up the side of the building. So they will be present on most multi-story buildings anyway. I think it's a code in America that that's required to have those. I know in New York they have hundreds upon hundreds of those things, like on every single one. I mean, you've seen Spider-Man. He swings off most of them. So what's to stop people using those? If a building's not open, why would
You can't get to them, so I know the lower floors you have to lower a ladder, so you can't reach up to climb. The only way to get to it is to go off from a higher level and walk down, and then you have to drop the ladder.
In fact, do you know what? I'm not going to go down this route. We'll leave that where it is. I'm not going to try and get into that sort of mind space. But yeah, what makes this building so special? That's where I'm coming from, thinking about the sort of the negative energy and the atmosphere that's there. And that's the same with the suicide forest in Japan. I get your point on that, Steve, where maybe people think it's, because they already know it's a suicide forest.
What's your view about all these polterpod talkings and paranormal puck sessions they do, where they're asking questions and getting replies? I know the first one that happened, they chucked up what they call a thermal laser sensor grid, put a polterpod in a room, they ask for the name of the lady, polterpod goes, yeah. They ask if it's Elisa or Eliza. Elisa, isn't it?
I say Eliza, but it could be Elisa.
Eliza, and they get a reply saying, Elisa. They ask again, who are we talking to? To which this time, apparently, it's a male voice that comes through and says, Elisa Lamb. And then straight after, a female voice saying, yeah. and then the laser grid going blue, indicating that there's been a cold spot leaving the room.
Yeah. The one thing that I'll say about having all of this equipment is, as you know, with any electrical equipment, it doesn't matter what it is, the more electrical equipment you've got, the more chance of something going wrong.
Yep.
So it could indicate a cold spot, but could that cold spot not just be a malfunction?
Could be a malfunction. It could just be a gust of wind. Outside might be colder. It's blew through. Bit of cold air's gone past.
Yeah. The pods as well, they work on frequencies. What else works on
Yeah.
frequencies?
Everything. Radios, you name it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying that I'm not debunking it. I'm just saying that you've got to sort of like take yourself out of the situation and look at it from another point of view. It's very strange that it said Eliza. It's
Yep.
very strange that it said the full name. Could that be fabricated?
Quite easily.
Could we do it?
I suppose if you know what frequency it's on, yeah.
So obviously these guys know. Sorry, the hotel staff or people that are pushing the narrative would know what they're doing and when.
Or even just the producer.
Yeah. So they could fake it. They could fake a lot because, and I'm not going to bash them for it because it makes good TV.
Oh yeah.
And
The one thing I have noticed though, they're using these more and more often, and they're getting more and more responses from them. Whereas in older episodes, they used to have it popping away as it does. They wouldn't get nothing, or they just get odd little bit. And as the seasons have progressed, it's becoming more and more clear, and it happens a lot more. So I know in this one, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times it happens between the polterpod and what's the other one called? Whatever it's called, either way. Paranormal Puck.
Yeah. See, it used to just be so simple, you know, just the that frequency blaster. What it used to just go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Just using that, and every now and then you'd get something and comes through. One would sound like a radio station, the other one would sound just normal, just like a normal voice. And it'd be relative to what they're asking, and they'd say, that's an intelligent response. Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
And then now it just seems like you said, they're using these things more and more frequently, and they're getting more and more responses.
A lot more responses.
Maybe it's because they're using them more frequently, you know. There's a correlation there. The more they use it, the more responses they're going to get, but it just kind of seems a little bit sketchy.
Before, when we used to use them, it was mainly unintelligible voices.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's not. It's every now and again it's an unintelligible voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That could be that the thing is improved though. Like the technology's improved. There's other factors that do
Oh yeah, possibly
contribute to it, but you know, so yeah, they're forever talking about that the guy that makes all this stuff. I've forgotten his name now. They're forever talking about him though, like Doctor something. But the other thing that I'll say about that is, like, the guy that's making all this equipment needs to make some money.
100% it does.
And he needs to prove that it works.
It's like, there's a spirit box he made specifically for Zach called the APF processor.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a spirit box with some little extras where you can change the frequencies.
Yeah.
Like change it to a low and rewind and stuff like that. I know he made him that.
But he needs to prove that it works. And how do you prove that a piece of equipment works that detects things that we can't prove exist?
Popular TV, which Ghost Adventures is.
Yeah. So
as much as I do like it, I will
again,
say
I
that.
don't want to bash it, but how do you know it works? How do you know it works? We don't know whether spirits exist, so how do you know that the equipment to find these things actually works or not? We don't.
No, we don't.
It's the best money grabbing situation I've ever seen.
Need to find proof.
Yeah, we need to find proof. Well, we've got this equipment here that shows you proof. All right, what does it show us proof of? Something that we can't prove.
Exactly.
You know. I don't know.
The bit that got me the most was when he took the pictures with the full spectrum camera.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 3 pictures. 2 pictures. Sorry, on this one. There's a black square stain on the floor that you can see. Flicks to the next one. That stain's not there.
Mm-hmm.
Which could be a shadow, could be anything. But on that one, just between crack of a door, you can see another person.
Yeah, and that's Erin. I don't care what you say. That's Erin. And they keep saying no, but he's got his mask on. Erin took his mask off.
And
Tried
took
to
that picture.
Yeah. I don't know whether they took the picture knowing that he was there. I just know full well it was him.
He was apparently taking the picture.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot that. Okay, well then he's photoshopped in.
It's either photoshopped in, or he's moved ever so slightly, so there's a mirror there.
But yeah, either way, there's definitely a guy stood there. But how is it that after 22 seasons of taking pictures of stuff, they can just make out the shadow of a ghost, and then all of a sudden there's a full manifestation of a bald guy in the corner? You get what I'm coming from. Plus, the light is shining off its head. The light is shining off its head. No.
He's definitely waxed that head.
Yeah. That's what I mean. The light was shining off the top of that, whoever it is, head. So, no. Throw that in the bin. Good try, but no cigar, okay? I believe we're going to end it on a bald guy. Having light shining off his head. But I think we're going down a very slippery slope of us not liking Ghost Adventures anymore. So, to recap, it's a pretty negative place. And if you want us to go there, then please hit the link in the description below and use code SLEEPY on TGWD e-liquids, because every little helps, and you get 13% off. Lucky 13, hey? 13%. Code SLEEPY, 13% off the TGWD range over the EC shop.uk. And yeah, so what we've come to realize is Ghost Adventures is great for TV.
Debunked easily.
Pretty much. I mean, we could be completely wrong, completely out of the ballpark, and there's probably even simpler ways of debunking it, but you know, I am kind of invested in it because I do enjoy it as much as what you do. So I had a shiver then. That's why my voice went a little bit, because I was like, do you enjoy it? But no, thanks for listening, and yeah, take care.
Bye.